We are talking about the new album, which is out at the moment, and that's one of my favourite tracks because it is somehow combining a very bleak view of the world with a melody that is actually really easy to listen to.
Cool.
We hear about church in the wild, which is an expression which means when you're out there in the wild, there is no help.
Yeah.
You talk about like the savannah drying up, all the animals dying. Like, it is quite a bleak perception.
Yeah.
So, would you say you're an undercover cynic, maybe?
Ooh. Yeah, probably, you might have just hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm an undercover cynic and even more undercover, like, positive outlooker. So I'm like cynical about everything, but then at the end of the day, I really feel like, being positive is actually what's going to make it better rather than just being cynical. But yeah, I definitely am an undercover cynic.
And what about jazz as a medium? Because it's a very jazzy album. You are well versed in drums, keys. You grew up around jazz. Is jazz a good medium for communicating a hard-hitting message? Because it doesn't naturally seem to lend itself to doing that.
Yeah, I think naturally it doesn't. But I think, actually, I don't know if that's so true, because a lot of these, like, real greats, like Miles Davis, all of them, Nina Simone, like, they were in serious pain.
Yeah,
and
right.
Nina Simone is like, I don't even know if you could just put her in jazz. She covers a lot of things, but she, the pain in her stuff was what made her so great. And I think that's, to be honest, what makes a lot of people great. I think as an artist, you have to go through mad pain and then know how to deal with it and put that into like a musical form. But I think jazz lends itself in a way that it just opens up your ability to just make things differently, because there's so much improvisation in jazz, so it basically just allows you to improvise how you would make the beat or rap.
Yeah, and you're the king of improvisation. I can't believe I read that you drive around with your laptop strapped in the passenger seat, playing music just so you can freestyle. I think that's the greatest creation technique I've ever heard. Laptop riding shotgun. Imagine if you got pulled over. It would be so weird explaining it, wouldn't it?
It'd be so weird explaining. It'd be like, I've got this digital girlfriend that
welcome to my world.
It's just suddenly this Tamagotchi girlfriend that lives on my laptop, and I feel like I need to strap her in.
Well, I mean, I think it's such a... I loved it when I heard that, because I think, like you said, it's very free-flowing and it's made for some great tracks. Sugar Like Salt, which is something you referenced with Nina Simone, is that sometimes you have to look really hard at a difficult situation to find out that maybe there's a bit of sweetness in it that you can grow from, which I think is maybe the theme of the album, as you've said.
Yeah, facts.
I wanted to ask you about working with a similar emotional man, Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Boys Don't Cry. Was it a written project you worked with him on?
So that was his magazine. So he got me. I mean, I met him in the crazy circumstance. I was just a runner on a music video set, and it happened to be his music video. And then I was just like assigned to just chill with him and make sure he was good.
Really?
Yeah.
And were you like, did you instantly feel anxious that I'm looking after Frank Ocean?
Not really. I don't really get starstruck because I used to, but one of my elders and someone that really took me under the wing, a producer from out here called Eric Lau, who's a genius. But he was always like, everyone is a human, man. You have to get on with them on a human level first. Yeah. Otherwise, you won't ever make music. You won't there'll be no connection. So I see everyone as human. So there's no, it doesn't really matter. Though if I saw David Attenborough, I think I'd be starstruck. Well,
you did say when you were a kid you wanted to be the brown David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Which I'd pay to see.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think working with Frank is amazing. He taught me loads. He taught me loads about just completely being honest on everything, being totally yourself, because that's just undeniable, and it's so easy to tell in music when someone isn't being themselves. And I think he was just like, you can forget lyrics, like the melody, the name of the tune, but you don't forget how it makes you feel. You just got to make people feel something, and then that's it.
And very quickly, do you reckon he's heard any of Sugar Like Salt?
I don't know, actually. I probably need to send it to him.
I think you should, and I'd be really interested to say what what he says, because you described him as a big influence over it.
Yeah.
But look, let's jump into the album. Maybe we'll hear some of the influence now. So it's called Sugar Like Salt, and this is the track Sugar Like Salt. Again, another very interesting name is the collaboration Nubia Garcia. Nubia Garcia.
Yeah.
So Louis VI, Nubia Garcia on 107.3 FM, and we'll be listening to the Mick Jenkins track after this. And Louis VI is in the building next to me. We've been having a really good chat. We've covered quite a lot, actually, haven't we?
We have,
Talked about basically being Frank Ocean's sidekick for the day or however long it was, quantum physics, and then, of course, Sugar Like Salt, which is the album. You can get that now. In an interview, you mentioned London is a great place to make music, and that a lot of London seeped into it, but you specifically mentioned that Camden was a big influence.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Camden, because I've been there a couple of times and someone's just tried to flog me some like £2 sunglasses.
Yeah.
So what's beneath the surface?
I mean, yeah, when I say Camden, I mean the Camden that, like, I was born and raised in Camden. So Camden Market has got almost nothing to do with it. I don't go. Everyone from Camden, you can ask anyone that lives in Camden. We hate Camden.
Really?
Like Camden Town, because it's just changed so much. You used to be able to like do all sorts there. Everything was legal. It was just crazy place, and it's changed a lot. But when I mean Camden, I kind of mean more the people. It's just like, it's just a melting pot of every country you could imagine. Like, I walk down my street and hear like 9 different languages before I hear English, and it's amazing. And there's, you know, the best Caribbean food. There's a deep Caribbean community. There's a deep African community. There's now like more recently a really like big Middle Eastern community, which is amazing. There's like, now we've got 24-hour like off licenses and corner shops, which is amazing.
So you're a massive fan of that kind of the melting pot analogy.
Yeah.
Just bringing things together and putting them there. You know, as somebody who's kind of almost made up of 4 different components, 4 different nationalities.
Yeah. Walking melting pot.
Well, yeah, walking melting pot, exactly. Do you feel like the album itself is not just English? Is there any other culture that actually makes its way through the tracks?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think my Caribbean roots comes through hard. I think, like, you know, black music has so many deep roots. So it's, you know, we have the British side of that and the American side of that.
Yeah, of course.
And then I think, I don't know, I mean, you know, there's some rock influences as well, which is, you know, many people would argue wherever that comes from, but, you know, essentially it comes from blues as well. And that, especially on the last track and some of the stuff I did with Moses. And then there's like, Black Opus kind of has like a South African kind of house vibe.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like Kwaito kind of vibes. And I've been listening to a lot of that, so I spent quite a lot of time in Cape Town.
Wow.
Shouts to all my people in Cape Town.
And you know what,
I've got ripping it right now.
Yeah, I've got to congratulate you as well, because you are one, to me, in my experience, you're one of the very few British artists who've managed to very seamlessly integrate American voices into a British album.
Right.
And I think most people may know that by the collab you did with Mick Jenkins.
Yeah.
So we're going to play that now.
Cool.
As a crowning jewel. And after that, Louis VI, you're going to be trying out our Risk It Biscuit challenge. Munya Chawawa here with Louis VI, and for the first time ever, introducing to you the Risk It Biscuit game.
Risk It Biscuit game.
Here is how it works. We just whipped out our hobnobs right in front of us.
Pause.
And we've got a cup of tea in front of us. You must pick a time to keep your hobnob in the tea. The person who keeps theirs in the longest without it breaking wins. The full hobnob must go in the cup. No dipping in the tip, right? The whole thing needs to go in.
The whole thing?
The whole thing needs to go in.
I thought we were just putting the head in.
Oh, no, not the whole thing. Just put halfway down.
Let me put the head in.
How long are you going to dip your hobnob in the tea?
Do you know what? I'm going for 18 seconds.
So you're not taking any gambles on this. I'm going to go with 28 seconds. If my hobnob's still intact, when I get to 28 seconds, I win.
Okay.
If it crumbles, I lose. And the loser drinks the tea. All right. The Risk It Biscuit challenge starts now. Dunk. Okay. You timing?
Yours isn't in that deep.
It is in, mate. My hobnob is well in there. I popped that right down in there.
Yeah, his is deep.
Mine's right. My hobnob's in there right deep.
Oh, she said I can go deeper.
Mine's proper getting wet right now.
Okay, Louis.
How long until Louis has to pull out? All right, Louis pulled out. He's still intact.
I pulled out and it's intact.
Okay.
It says I put it in.
3, 2. I'm keeping mine in for longer. I'm keeping mine in for longer.
Oh.
Ready? 5, 4. I'm pulling out in 3, 2, 1. I'm pulling out.
Oh no! Look, it's what? It fell off. He gave it a wobble and it fell off. Look, even mine's wobbling. No!
It's gone down as
Mine
well.
went.
Both of our hobnobs have fallen off.
Oh, yeah,
Call
but
a doctor.
Mine held it after though. I've now got sludgy tea.
Oh no, I've got a wet hobnob. Right, well, I have to drink my hobnob now. All right, salute. Cheers, everyone. I'm drinking. Cheers. Oh, a bit of the hobnob's got stuck in my teeth. Hate when that happens.
Brisket!